Nambole, and what I can let you know about is it's really gonna be a huge encounter for the Uganda Cranes as they obviously take on South Africa. And Uganda Cranes has gone ahead, obviously named their starting 11, and yakabinyonyonyera tulaba wanonga abasambi abasinze okuperforminga in the previous two games. Uganda Cranes against Enebaleta era wetwogerera kati Uganda Cranes egenda kuba etunkane gwanga eri South Africa. So smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here in the daily. Echisawe Nambole, it's full to capacity, and I can let you know that it is really happening today. What is at stake? What is at stake? The group Ngabwedi, Uganda Cranes is really at the top of the group, you understand, and Algeria is second with 5 points. The shocking bit of it all is that Uganda Cranes opened up in a game Algeria never yonejikuba goro 3-0. Uganda Cranes went ahead to win 2 games, in a row, and everything went ahead to happen like that. Kati wetutu say the Uganda Cranes eina okukuba South Africa oba okukola draw. You get? Eina okukuba South Africa oba okukola draw. If we don't do that, then tujja kwesanga mu kaseera akazibu nnyo eggwanga lya Uganda, because all we need is to see to it that we really get through. Kati botunulira wano amawanga agali wano tuyina mu group A, tuyina mu group B, group C ne group D. Uganda eri mu group C. So the side of Uganda Cranes has a lot to do, and we need to obviously come up and obviously beat South Africa. And the easiest way for us to qualify is to beat South Africa, because South Africa has gone ahead to play its last game with Uganda, and Niger is obviously going to be playing against Algeria. Kati wobomanyi Niger, Algeria, we're 100% sure that Algeria egenda kubegwanga libaita Niger, and Algeria will go to 8 points. Now, if we want to top this group, all we have to do is simple. Let's get 3 points off South Africa, and we are in here in Kampala, Uganda, and I think nothing can stop us from obviously getting those points in there for you as for the side of the Uganda Cranes. So nze nchimanyi buli kimu kisoboka mu mupiira. You get the momentum we've gone ahead to building atukuba ziri team ebbiri. I'm talking about Gini, you get twajikube yosatu, you get eyaddako gye twaddamu okusamba twajikuba golo zalimeka, twajikuba golo biri, so I think we can obviously throw in more goals at our opponents, and we can see ourselves really getting there in a nick of time. So I think let me obviously throw you into the confirmed starting 11 for the Uganda Cranes, you understand. Let's obviously go in for this, and this is the confirmed starting 11 for the Uganda Cranes. Then to get with the formation that Uganda has gone ahead to deploy. Now, Uganda has Joel Mutakubwa, Herbert Achai, Hilary Mukundane, Rogers Torach, Gavin Chizito Mugwere, Enoch Sebagala, Patrick Jonah Kakande, Allan Okello, Judes Hemugabi, Abdukarim Watambala, and Regan Impande. The substitutes, there is Dennis Chigundu, Nicholas Mawe, Elvis, and so on and so forth. I'm obviously going to be reading those names later. So that is the starting 11 for the side of the Uganda Cranes. Kati, botugenda ku South Africa, jukira babayita the Bafana. Obategedde Bafana. So Bafana, South Africa have also gone ahead to name a strong starting 11, and they're obviously going to be taking on the side known as Uganda Cranes, and this is how they've decided to obviously look like when they're taking on a class side known as the Uganda Cranes in here onto the Uganda Stains. Kati tuina Zulu, tuina Mpahelele, Johannes, tuina Mugonyama, tuina Goza, Josti, Ndlondlo, Maema, Mashengo, Kutumalega, and Dolly. That is the starting 11 for the side of South Africa. Eranga abasinga bana basambira mu timu eya Dennis Masinde Onyango emanyikidwanga Mamelodi Sundowns. That's why Onyango kubera mu kampu ya Uganda, it's really very important, because bano abasambi abamanyi on a personal basis, and he knows what they can do to obviously haunt or really cause trouble to our side of Uganda. And yokubeherawo munkambi n'abaako ng'abaana abagumya, like he's giving them techniques and so on and so forth. It's really very important because he eats, he sleeps, he travels, he trains, he plays with these same players in here of Mamelodi Sundowns. So bwekityo bwekiri kati Uganda Cranes egenda kukuba formation eya 4-2-3-1, 4 defenders with a double pivot, a right attacking midfielder, a left attacking midfielder, a central attacking midfielder, and a center forward. Bwetyo Uganda Cranes wegenda okulabika olunaku olwaleero wali mu kisaawe e Nambole. We are like 14 minutes away from that game kick starting. Eranga, I want to let you know that we are obviously here to present to you what we think is gonna come out of this game. Now, in goal, Tuina Joel Mutakubwa, very good goalkeeper. He has only conceded 3 goals in one match, and the previous two games against Okuzanya, Omukulu Ntakubiddwamu. Then right back, Gavin Kizito. He's one of the best right backs in the league. Eranga, bachimanyi. He had really some bad spell at KCC, nava ku KCC, na genda wazita Wakiso Giants, boyava hiyo, is it Wakiso Giants? Yalisowana. Then Vipers went ahead to obviously get him, and now he's playing for Vipers in there for you. Gavin Chizito, he is really a very good player in there for you, a Ugandan player, and he is really one of those to gate. You get? So at the left back, waliwo omusajja bamwita Achai is a very good player, and I've gone ahead to say to it that Gavin plays for KCC. I thought he had crossed from KCC to Vipers. He now plays for KCC, and Gavin is a KCC player. You understand? In there for you. Then mwana manyikidwanga Achai in there. Achai, left back, very good left back, and his skills are really good. Then Tuina Torach is playing as a right-sided centre-back. Henry Mukundane is playing as a left-sided centre-back. Henry Mukundane plays for Vipers, and even Torach plays for Vipers. And I want to give kudos to a journalist who works with NTV Omomuligwe Mizanyo, known as what's his name? Dennis Bossa. He came up and said that after Uganda Cranes went ahead to concede 3 goals against a team called Algeria, he was like, Torach mwamusambisiza yekka. Yet it's better Mumutekene Mukundane, whom they've gone ahead to form a very good partnership at Vipers. And in the next game, I saw the coach of the Uganda Cranes, Mole Biekwaso, go ahead and really put this into action. And guess what the results were? They're really very, very impressive. And ever since then, I don't think Uganda has ever gone ahead, obviously, concede any goal. Then, netugenda ku double pivot, edimu Sebagala, mwana mweneza manyikidwanga watambala. I think we have one player who is really missing. Is it Sorunjoji? Something of the sort. Serunjoji is really out because he's really a very good player, and we are waiting to see how the midfield of Man United will obviously be looking, because as it stands, the side of the Uganda Cranes ebadde samba bulungi nga bakubaawo babiri neyo namanyikidwanga Sebagala. Kati kyebakoze, Karimu Watambala abadde akuba walinga mu 10 bamusise ne bamuteka mu double pivot. You get? Simanyi oba Mpande yagenda okudda wano akube ne Sebagala, but we'll wait and see how everything really pans out as this game of football really goes on. Tujja balaba abasambi bano tulabe how they are really their movements will obviously show us exactly what they're obviously going to be doing. Allan Okello, he is the star boy of the Uganda Cranes, and he's really having an amazing season. From KCC last season, but one. Then he joined Vipers, and I tell you, he has been a revolution at Vipers. He has gone ahead, obviously, perform hugely very well, and everyone is 100% into him. Then Patrick Kakande. He is one of the players I really loved. I really love him a lot. I can tell you, the player is really that special. The player is super special. Kakande Musambi Wanjaulo. If you've gone ahead to see him play, he's a very good player. And all I know is that he's a very good creative midfielder. And I'm one of those who has been calling for him to obviously get more playing time as a player. Because in the game of Algeria, tebamuleka kwetaya, like he was not given that audacity to obviously play as a player that we see him play at AC Villa. But I think this time around they're going to have to play him centrally in the central attacking midfield for the Uganda Cranes, and I believe that will give him a lot of arrogance here and a lot of threat to the South Africans, because he acts well in tight spaces. You know, he's good at acting in tight spaces. Atene waba ita wakati, like in the middle of the park, he really runs through, you know. Teyetaga kugamambo, let me run outside, because we have midfielders, and they are good, but they cannot obviously be a threat making what we call central attacks. Kati ono Patrick John Kakande ekyenjawulo kyalina nti bwafuna omupiira asobola obateeka ku career abasambi n'agamba ngukutte ngenze. Like you saw what Matthias Cunha did yesterday when Man United was being beaten by Arsenal, you know. Ekyo kye yakoze n'akwata omupiira mu first half n'agujja kumpi mu center in the half of Manchester United. Now guvuga for like 60 yards. Nagenda nagukuba, but the goalkeeper came to the savior of Arsenal. You get? I think John Patrick Kakande, Asobolo Chikola Bulunji Mpande is another one that you're obviously going to be enjoying, and Semogabi. Now, I've gonna hate to see people on TikTok come out and say Ahimbisiwe should be in between, should be the one who starts, and I'm like, guys, let's not come out and obviously hail Ahimbisiwe ahead of Jude Semogabi. I think in games like this, wetaga omuntu alina experience nga bw'olaba Jude Semogabi, because for Jude Semogabi akubye kulija emipiira egiwera, let's all admit, nga akubira timu ya Kitara, then akubiddeko ne ku national team, and if at all you remember, bwe twali nga tuzanya mu South Sudan for Uganda Cranes to confirm its qualification for what we call the African Cup of Nations, you know, that is going to be played, is it in Morocco this year in December, ono musajja yakuba goal. You get? He scored the goal that really gave Uganda a comfortable lead. You understand that very well. So, chenjagalo bakubiriza kirishimu. The side of Uganda Cranes, I think Jude Semogabi mulungi okutandika, and it's always good to be having quality off the bench. Why do you want us to obviously have all the best players in our starting 11? Jude Semogabi mulungi aina amaanyi leka bino ebisajja jabi tomere, like he messes the entire central defense out, then tulete Ahimbisiwe ye ajenga ayisa muka mu kisero. That's what I'm really thinking. I don't know what your thoughts are about this, but I think it really makes a lot of sense to us as we the people who have gone ahead obviously be watching in football for some time in here. Now, that is the Uganda Cranes. Let's go to South Africa and see how these players really go ahead to really start. Kati, for the South Africans, Zulu is in goal. You get? Zulu, your goalkeeper of South Africa. You get? Then Johannes, you know? Johannes, omusajja uyo mulaba Johannes, Sambanga right back. Mashengo is the left back. I've really had this name for a very long period of time possible, you know? Mashengo, you know, from South Africa. He's really another good one in there for you. Then Mfahelele and Mongonyama, they are playing in the central defense. You understand? Then we are having Josete, Koza, Ndlondlo, and Dolly. They are playing a system of 4-4-2. You get? So they come in here to either obviously cause havoc to the side of Uganda Cranes. And Maema and Kutumela are really playing as the two forwards for the side of South Africa in there. So that's exactly what you're really having in here at the what we call the Ugandan stains, and we are really talking Uganda Cranes as they take on the side of South Africa in there. It's really very important to obviously know the permutations that okujjawo ekibalo buli kimu. What we should do is simple. Uganda Cranes has to go all out and really win this game of football. You understand? Uganda Cranes has to go out and really win this game, you know? Tetwagala bintu bya bibalo balebyo. But even if we draw, we obviously see ourselves in a position of really getting through. So we are waiting to see how things really pan out. But I want to obviously read to you something in here that you need to understand in this game. You know, Jukira Uganda has never gone ahead to qualify, you know, and all we have to do is simple. Uganda has to come up and obviously beat South Africa. Either butugenda kumukutu ogwitibwanga Chimu reports bagambye history on the line as Uganda Cranes face South Africa. Ne batugamba nti Uganda is facing South Africa today at 8 p.m. The stage is set for a historical night in Nambole Stadium. as the Uganda Cranes stand just 90 minutes away from reaching the Total Energies African Cup of Nations China 2024 quarterfinals for the very first time. A single point against South Africa in their final Group C clash on Monday will be enough to break a long-standing barrier. Uganda has never advanced past the group stages in the previous 6 CHAN appearances, but this time they sit top of the group with 6 points after back-to-back wins. Friday's draw, Algeria and Guinea and South Africa 0-0 with Niger worked in Uganda's favor, leaving the Uganda Cranes in pole position. A draw tonight will seal qualification, with victory guarantees the top spot and the quarterfinal to be played right at Nambole. Algeria, currently second on 5 points, faces Niger in Nairobi in the group's other fixture. A win will see them through regardless of what happens in Kampala. South Africa, also on 5 points but with an inferior goal difference, must beat Uganda to qualify. So you've heard it, that South Africa also has 5 points and they have to beat Uganda to qualify. Then Uganda Cranes, however, will miss influential midfielder Joel Selunjo Jingabwemba Gambia, who is suspended after 2 yellow cards. His absence is a blow, but coach Molly Biekwaso is confident others will rise to the occasion. South Africa is a good team, very strong in the final third, but we know what is at stake. Biekwaso said, "We top the table because we worked very hard. We want a win regardless. Passing through the humiliation against Algeria and coming back stronger in the next 2 games shows where we prepared to history." On Selunjo's suspension, he added, "Missing Joel is challenging, but I trust all the boys. Every player has his moment, and someone will step up. We thank the supporters who have been with us since the start. We call on them to come in big numbers and help us finish what we started." That's exactly what is happening for the Uganda Cranes. Eranga, today, I think we call it quits for now, and I'm obviously going to be returning to talk to you after this game is really done and dusted, and I pray to it that Uganda is obviously going to be beating South Africa. And most of you are like, Rokani, what's your prediction? My prediction is simple: Uganda Cranes 2, South Africa 1. If a team that we beat managed to obviously hold or force South Africa into a draw, I think we stand a very huge chance, because that stadium is obviously going to be buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing in favor of a club known as, of a country known as